Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review movies, and today I decided to look back in time to 2014 at a film called The Judge. It's a courtroom drama about Hank, a high-profile defense lawyer returning home after the death of his mother. His cantankerous father is accused of murder while he's there, and Hank ends up defending him against the charge. David Dobkin and Nick Schenk wrote the story, and Nick Schenk and Bill Dubuque developed it into a screenplay. David Dobkin directed the film, which stars Robert Downey Jr. as Hank, Robert Duvall as his father, and Billy Bob Thornton as the prosecutor. As a film, The Judge is a bit more than just a courtroom drama. It's also a relationship drama between Hank and his father, and a bit of a romantic comedy between Hank, Sam, and her daughter Carla. It tells a full story about a man coming home to grieve his mother and being blindsided by his father's problems. In the process of helping him, dark secrets are revealed and old wounds are opened up. It's an absolute emotional whirlwind with a ton of heart, a little bit of humor, and a bit of suspense in the form of a murder trial. The dialogue is witty, the characters are fleshed out, and there's so much going on that it's basically impossible to get bored. They're always introducing a big emotional punch or a new piece of juicy drama. The cast is filled with veterans who chew it all up too. You've got Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Jeremy Strong playing a dysfunctional family. And on the opposite side, you've got Billy Bob Thornton playing a suave, righteous, and just the right amount of douchey prosecutor. For the love interest, they bring in Vera Farmiga, who plays an old flame, capable of matching Hank's type A personality. She's funny, charming, disarming, and her scenes always act as a good lighthearted break from the rest of the serious subject matter. Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, and Billy Bob Thornton all managed to stand out for their performances. Downey Jr. and Duvall are asked to play big personalities that constantly clash, which leads to deeply vulnerable, emotional confrontations. Both of them do a wonderful job with their performances, really drawing out every last bit of sadness, regret, and tragedy from the situation. Thornton wasn't given nearly as much time, but he manages to make a huge impact with his time on screen anyway. He's a real match for Downey Jr.'s Hank. Smart, determined, and he knows all the tricks too. Thornton plays it like a smug prick, but then reels it back just enough to show he has a heart. The scene of him backing off was a nice little touch. The visual journey is a clean and simple romp in rural America. We watch Downey Jr. run errands around a small town while interacting with a bunch of the locals and his family. There's a few emotional reels of old films that get played in mourning, a lot of big dramatic conversations between characters, and then there's a trial in the second half of the film. When the trial starts up, we get grand shots of the courtroom, taking in all of the spectators from the town, the reactions of the jury as they hear the testimony, and showing both prosecutor and defense in a strong light. The film really focuses on the emotional aspects of what's going on and spends a lot of time zoomed in close on the actors' faces, and fishing around for reaction shots from the people around them as they monologue. For music, they used a couple of original soft rock tracks and a lot of orchestral instrumentals. They used soft-sounding tracks to draw out the sadness and tragedy of the story while keeping tenser, darker tracks for the trial and its downbeats. The music was really good at drawing out big emotional responses in tandem with the scenery. On the flip side of things, the music was also incredibly generic, and at times it felt like they were recycling the same 5 songs to use repeatedly. It's overly dramatic too. They could be sitting there eating toast, and the music would make it feel like it's the most important meal of their lives. They never turned it down once and just let the actors be. The visual journey is a little over the top in its presentation too. Every scene is lit like they're permanently living in heaven. There's this weird, soft glow constantly shining down on people, and it makes their skin look all fuzzy. The story is also too long and trying to do too many things. They had a bunch of scenes that just go on forever when they've already made their point, and there's also a bunch of repeat moments that feel good but also feel cheaper with each use. You end up with this long-ass film that's a great watch, but really didn't need to be 2 hours. Like, there's almost 10 minutes dedicated to the sleeping with his own daughter bit, and that was at best a 3-minute joke. They just kept dragging it out and then didn't even know where to go with it. They ended awkwardly and just never mentioned it again. Personally, I enjoyed The Judge and found it to be a fairly competent film. My gripes with it are mostly minor nitpicks, and the cast did a phenomenal job here. If you like big courtroom relationship type dramas, you'll probably love this one. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.